Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into a really powerful concept from Chapter 7 of Alan R. Scott's book, The Buddha's Lost Art of Gaam-Node. It gives us a fascinating new way to look at one of life's most frustrating questions. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, this one. We've all seen it, right? The person who seems to lie and cheat and just be, well, not a great person, and yet they seem to get everything they want. Meanwhile, you see good people trying their best and they just struggle. It can make you wonder if the whole system is just broken. So what's the deal? Let's unpack the book's really surprising answer.
All right, first step, life's unfair question. The book kicks off by arguing that this whole thing, this apparent unfairness, isn't a glitch. It's really just a massive misunderstanding of how the timing of it all works. See, before we can even begin to solve the mystery, we have to get the mechanics right. The book's big idea is this: karma isn't broken, not at all. It's just that it operates on a totally different clock than we do. It's not about instant justice, it's about a much longer game of cause and effect. Okay, Section 2, the 3 hidden chargers. So what's the engine driving this whole system? According to the book, it all comes down to 3 hidden forces, or natures, that are constantly pulling us in different directions, shaping everything we think and do. The book uses this brilliant metaphor to explain them. Think of 3 portable chargers. At any given moment, you are plugged into one of these. The good nature, that's the calm, constructive part of you. The bad nature, that's the one that loves drama and conflict. And then there's the stagnant nature. It's the one that whispers, just do it later, just keep scrolling, it doesn't matter. And get this, it's not like you just casually pick one. The book describes it as a constant battle inside you. These 3 natures are always fighting for your energy, and whichever one you feed, whichever one you keep plugging into, it gets stronger. Its pull becomes harder and harder to resist. Which brings us to Section 3, your karmic blueprint. So what actually happens when one of those chargers hits 100%? This is where the book introduces this amazing concept of the blueprint, which is its way of explaining very tangibly how our actions literally create our future. So imagine that energy building up, until the charger is full. The book says at that moment it's a point of no return. The energy just surges past any hesitation you might have. That angry thought becomes a word you can't take back. That impulse to help becomes a real action. And in that moment, something invisible clicks into place. And that click is the blueprint. The book describes it as a sealed, final record of your action. It gets woven into the fabric of your future. It's not a reward, it's not a punishment, it's just a seed that's been planted and is now just waiting for the right conditions to grow. Okay, Section 4, when blueprints unfold. Now that we have this idea of chargers and blueprints, let's go all the way back to our original question. If bad actions create bad blueprints, why do we see so many toxic people just winning at life? And here is the book's big reveal. Blueprints don't care about our schedule. A person could be acting horribly today, but they might still be coasting on the momentum from positive blueprints they created years ago. The energy from their past good actions just hasn't run out yet. But make no mistake, their current behavior is busy writing a whole new set of blueprints, and those are just waiting for their moment to activate. And you can see here exactly how this plays out when those blueprints finally do come due. When you've been charging that good nature, life just seems to flow better. Obstacles seem smaller. When you've been feeding the bad nature, well, problems seem to pop up everywhere and everything feels hard. And the stagnant nature? It just creates this grayness, a life where you're not really living, just drifting. It's direct feedback from the system.
All right, on to our last section, how to raise the tide. Now, all this might sound a bit heavy, right? Especially if you're thinking about all the not-so-great blueprints you might have written in the past. But this is where the book's message becomes incredibly hopeful and empowering. It offers this beautiful way of thinking about how to handle your past.
Let's start with this image the book gives us. Just picture yourself as a sailboat. You are built to move, to explore. You're inherently capable. But every sailor has to be aware of what's lurking just beneath the surface. And those past negative blueprints? The book says to think of them as jagged, hidden rocks under the water. Every time you acted out of anger or jealousy or just plain carelessness, another rock was placed down there. You can't see them, but they are absolutely real, and they can do serious damage to your journey. And this is the most important part of the entire concept. You can't go back and remove the rocks. What's done is done. But, and this is a huge but,
Every single time you act from your good nature, every time you choose kindness or generosity, you are raising the water level. You are raising the tide, creating more and more space between your sailboat and those old damaging rocks. You learn to sail safely above them.
So this completely shifts the focus, doesn't it? It stops being about worrying about the past or judging what other people are doing. It's all about the power you have in this very moment, the power to raise the tide. So the only question that matters is, what blueprint are you writing right now, today? We'll explore the next chapters in our next explainer.